Crop News, brought to you by the Kansas Association of Wheat Growers and Kansas Wheat Commission. Together, we are Kansas Wheat.
Justin, thanks for joining us this morning.
Sure thing, Brian.
Mother Nature has been not too kind to Kansas the last couple of years, and this fall's looking like she's not going to be very kind again. Wheat guys, this time of the year is extremely important to get stands up, growing, and ready coming into spring. What's it like out there?
It's extremely dry. You know, with the droughts persisted throughout the summer, really affected our fall crop harvest, and the wheat conditions are really suffering from that right now. If you look at the National Ag Statistics for the full United States, the crop condition rating is the lowest it's ever been in history of those recordings. Kansas is actually a little bit better off than some of our states to the north and the south. We did get a little bit of topsoil moisture right after planting season that got the crop up and emerged, especially in central Kansas. But right now we're just, because of the moisture deficiencies, even though that crop's up going into winter conditions and dormancy, really concerned about if we don't get a wet winter or a wet spring, what's going to happen with this crop. And we're already hearing some pretty disappointing stories about wheat that didn't come up out west, and some of the wheat that did come up that just ran out of moisture and is already dying. And so it's kind of disappointing. Wheat acres were going to be up this year, but we're definitely going to lose some wheat acres that were initially planted.
Well, this could have been a great year for Kansas wheat. I mean, every year is a great year for Kansas wheat, don't get me wrong, but this could have been a really good year for Kansas wheat. We had some farmers who got out of the fields early, had a chance to put wheat into the ground because of harvest being done so early in the year. How's your feeling on that?
Well, I think wheat got a lot more attention this year. I think whether it's typical or atypical, the dryness that we're seeing, wheat's definitely a water-sipping crop. It's uses less moisture, it's less inputs, less risk up front. And so when you're getting riskier, drier conditions like this, farmers are looking for a crop like wheat. Wheat's made some advances in genetics. And plus, then from a forage standpoint, because of our pasture situation and feed situation, especially in southeast Kansas, southern Kansas, we're saw a pretty big bump in wheat acres, the lot that's being grazed right now. When we think about the opportunity that exists for wheat is because of these dry conditions. You've had the expectation of some fall crops that have failed here now 2 years in a row. I think guys are going to go with a little less risk crop, a crop that is a longer growing period. When you're in a time of less moisture, it has a bigger window of time to be able to use the little bit of moisture that we get. And so that's why wheat acres were up, and prices are pretty good right now. And so hopefully guys can, if we catch a rain this spring, we'll be able to have a crop and be a good opportunity for wheat farmers in Kansas. So
basically what you're saying is with wheat, you're stretching out your opportunity to get a crop, or lose a crop also.
Yes, but I'd like to think that even when you think about the growing cycle of sorghum versus corn, you've got you got more critical windows for corn or beans than you maybe do with sorghum and wheat, where that sorghum and wheat, especially wheat, has that longer window to hang on, can wait for moisture, and so if you only get that one good shot of moisture in a 60-day period, it can still, the old adage, wheat has 9 lives. Type thing, and so that's you're actually kind of slowing. I think you're mitigating your risk with a bigger window of time like that, and especially because of water concerns we're seeing out under irrigation in western Kansas. A crop like wheat is getting a lot more attention because of the amount of the water that wells are being able to produce and water allocations, and we just need to make sure from a research standpoint that we're putting every investment we can to make sure that we're having the best genetics in the hands of farmers possible.